we're going to do a PM interview question together here. Let's say the question is, you're the PM who launched Instagram videos. What would be their goals and what should be the success metrics? So this is a typical interview question that you could be asked during the Facebook or Instagram job interview for a PM job. So today we're going to do this exercise together and see how we can answer it. First thing you want to do is to make sure that you can describe what Instagram videos does and how it works. You can describe that it helps users to create videos and share them with the community or their network of friends and family and people on their Instagram, and allows them to view the videos and allows the users to also engage with the videos through comments and likes and shares and other reactions. And here you can check if this is a good description of the product, and let's assume that the interviewer says, yes, this is a good understanding of the product. It's also a good idea to ask a couple of clarification questions here. For example, you can ask if there is any particular part of the product that they'd like you to focus on. And let's assume that the interviewer says you can choose whatever part of the product that you'd like to focus on. Or you can ask if there are any company objectives that you should keep in mind in terms of priorities. For example, is there a priority on revenue or engagement or something else? And let's assume that the interviewer says you can choose whatever priorities that you have in mind. Then describe where you think the product is today in its life cycle. You can say that it's been around for a while, it has a strong fan base and users base, but many people are still not using it and it's still in growth phase. So you think that right now the product is in the growth phase of the product life cycle. You can briefly talk about the user groups and explain that at a high level you think there are two types of user groups that interact with the video, with the Instagram videos. One are the video creators and the second one are the video watchers. And the video creators can really be broken down into more segments such as brands, social media influencers, and casual users who are creating videos. And the video watchers also break into multiple user groups such as the ones that have never watched the videos, or the casual video watchers and the power users. After describing the product and making sure that you and the interviewer are clear on the product description, its current status in the product life cycle, and overview of the user groups, then you can move to the next part, which is choosing a goal. And here are a few examples that you can provide. So for example, you can say that there are various goals that you can have for Instagram videos, given that it's a big product and it has a big ecosystem. Some examples could be increasing revenue or driving engagement, but you'd like to focus on driving engagement because you think it's more aligned with the company's mission of bringing people closer to each other, and it's also relevant to where you think the product is today in its product life cycle. And now that you've highlighted what sort of goal you'd like to focus on, you can walk the interviewer through the user journeys and explain which actions in the user journey have a major impact on driving engagement. For example, you can talk about creating videos, sharing videos, posting comments, and sharing reactions, providing reactions, or sharing them as some examples of actions that help drive engagement and have a major impact on engagement. Now that you've identified the behaviors that have a major impact on your goals, you can start discussing the metrics that help you measure the impact of those actions and behaviors in achieving your goal. So here, feel free to ask for a minute to write down some ideas on the metrics that you'd like to focus on a piece of paper before sharing them with an interviewer. And let's say that you took a moment and decided that there are a few key metrics that come to mind. First, you'd like to go over the metrics that matter from a creation of videos perspective, and the examples that you can highlight are total number of videos created on a periodic basis. You think it's important because it's an indication of how many videos are being created and whether or not you're trending up or down. If you're going up, great, there are more videos that are being created in the platform, that's great. Or total number of video creators per month helps you see that you're doing well in terms of driving adoption and having more users creating videos. And a secondary metric here could be a 30 days active users, defined as those users who posted more than 2 videos, as an indication that you're also retaining the users who are adopting. Another metric that you can pick for creating videos would be average number of videos created per user during a specific period of time. This gives you an idea of whether or not the engagement is increasing by the users that are creating videos. And in terms of the period of time, you can choose daily or weekly or monthly, and maybe you want to look at all three of them to make sure that you're taking seasonality into consideration. You can also come up with a few metrics that help you measure engagement with consuming these videos, because they're also very relevant to engagement with Instagram videos. For example, you could look at number of comments or reactions or shares per 1,000 video watches as an indication of engagement. You can look at number of comments or reactions per user on videos. You can look at number of users who are commenting or liking videos on a monthly or daily or weekly basis. Or you can look at percentage of videos presented who are actually watched. Basically, number of videos that are presented are not every video is going to be watched. What percentage of the videos that are presented to the users on Instagram are actually viewed by them? And now that you've provided a great list of metrics, you have to evaluate them based on a criteria that's relevant to your initial objective. So a good criteria here can be impact on engagement. And now you can explain to the interviewer and say that, hey, I think that impact on engagement was my main criteria. And based on that, when I evaluate my metrics, I think that total number of videos created will have significant impact on an overall engagement. So you'd like to watch it carefully on a periodic basis. And the number of video creators per month also has high impact, because the more video creators you have, the more video watching and the more videos that are going to be produced, and engagement is going to increase on the consumption side as well. And you might say that you will not look at average number of videos per user, since the other two metrics that we discussed for creation of videos give you a good overview of the engagement on the video creation side. And now on the video consumption side, you can say that the number of engagements, whether it's comments or likes or shares per 1,000 video watches, is important, because it gives you a good idea of how much people are engaging with each video. And number of users who had a reaction or posted a comment has a significant impact of the overall engagement, as it talks to the size of the users who are engaged. And percentage of videos presented that are watched has high impact, because it's an indication of the quality of the content that is being presented to the users, and also it gives you an idea of what percentage of the content that is presented to the users is being converted into meaningful engagement. And you can explain that you'd like to give a lower priority to average number of comments or reactions per user for now, since you can measure the engagement level by looking at number of reactions per 1,000 video impressions or 1,000 video watches, and percentage of video impressions turn into video watches.